Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are once again. It's Thursday evening, and it's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning in London at 1 a.m. They're a little sleepy over there. It's overnight there. And of course, it's Friday morning in Tokyo, Japan. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live. And we're here with you once again on this Thursday. And of course, we're here every Thursday at this time. Those of you who are just joining us for the first time, this is what we do. So you look at your time zone, because whatever time it is where you are, that's what time we come on each week at this time. And the purpose of the show is to get everyone involved in the show. All right, we have a little conversation and we talk a little bit, and whatever you want to do. First of all, I will throw out a topic, as I always do, because we never starve for topics around here. Throwing out one, you could switch it off if you want. You have any questions, thoughts, and ideas, you can do it live on the air as I talk to you and you talk to others. All you have to do is just type it in, let your fingers do the walking. I will entertain you. I'll see you right there on the big screen. And of course, we'll get together and talk. And you could always talk to everyone who comes in the room if you so desire to. People talk with each other, or you can talk to me as well. That's what the whole purpose is. It's free exchange and ideas. Now we're coming to you everywhere, and we're coming to you through the courtesy of Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. We're on live. And those of you who are watching us on Facebook right now, we want you to take the time as the show gets started. We want you to right now take this show. No, I wasn't going to say that. No, take the show and tag your friends. You can say that to me. Take the show and tag your friends. Let them know that we're out there, and they should come in, and then we'll have them. Maybe, who knows? They come in, they're new people. As the kids say today, they're newbies. I don't even know if they say that anymore. But they'll be new, and if they like what they hear, like what they see, they'll come back again and again, just like you. If you're watching us on YouTube, of course, what we want you to do is when you go onto our YouTube page, our YouTube channel, hit that red button that says subscribe. Subscribe to us. It costs you nothing. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to collect anything from you. It's absolutely free. And when you subscribe to us on YouTube, that gives you the opportunity to be part of us as well. Whenever we come on live, or if we so much as, bring a video up there, it will notify you. And of course, that's a reminder, and you could just chime right in. It's easy as that. And those of you who are watching us on Instagram, thank you guys for being here. You too can follow us too. Just follow us, plainly follow us. Brian Kemp will be here. But before I tell you about that, I want you to know that this show, Talk Back Live, all the exchanges and ideas do not necessarily reflect the opinion and the view of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other broadcast facility. Just want you to know that. Brian Kemp is coming along in just a few minutes from now, within this half hour, just minutes from now, not too far away, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And of course, he has a lot to talk about. And of course, those of you who are Yankee fans, he's going to talk about that too. It's going to be a lot of fun. So you'll be here for that. He'll be here. We'll connect with him. He's coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and we're going to link up with him. We can do that from New York to Las Vegas. And well, in this case, from New York to Charlotte, North Carolina. And so we'll be glad to see him when he comes in, and he'll talk more about that. That's all coming up. And later on in the program, too, I have This Day in History, all of those great things that we talk about on this day in history, right, of what's happening today. We have that coming up for you, a list of things and events that maybe you weren't even born yet, but they're out there. We'll have all of that for you. And later on, too, as well, we'll give you all of those great movies. Of course, we talk about the Turner Classic Movies. Those Turner Classic Movies that come on, those black and whites, those lovely, lovely classics. And just in case you like to catch up on some movies this week, it would be a good time to do it, especially if you're living in New York. It'll be a good time to do it. And I just want to add on to your bucket list of things to watch. Just add on a couple of movies that you can watch, but we'll talk about that in due time. Well, here we are. And, the summer is over. You already know that, right? The summer is all over. And when I just mentioned to catch up on some movies, especially New York, a good time to do it because the weather is, it's not good. We're going to have a soaker on Saturday. I know that. Things may clear out by Monday, but through the weekend, I don't think it's going to be good. And that's due to the hurricane or the strong hurricane that hit upon us, which lets me to remind you that we have to pray for our friends over there in Florida. They're getting hit hard over there. They are really getting hit hard over there. I was watching some of the images. It's top news right now. It really is. It's top news. And if you go on TV and you watch some of the news bureaus, watch the news, that's their top news every time. I don't care where you go. They're talking about that hurricane. It's top news. And they're keeping an eye out on it. And so due to that hurricane, we're going to get like heavy rain here. We're not going to get that kind of weather that they're having in Florida, but we're going to get a lot of rain. And I got to find out from Brian when he comes in, what's it going to be like in his area, because I know usually he gets whatever he gets, and then it comes up to up north. And then, so we'll see what kind of rain he gets. But I know in Charlotte, North Carolina, when it really rains there. I've experienced that one time out there. I mean, it just came down, But so, we're keeping an eye on that. Now, I'm not a meteorologist, and I can't tell you where the wind is blowing or where the rain is going to hit. I do know, since we're on the East Coast, it sort of comes up from the south up to the north, from the south to the north. And as far as the Midwest and out there where you are on the other side of the United States, way over there, like in Vegas and California and all of those places, I'm not sure where that's going. I'm not sure. So I'm not a meteorologist. I can't talk about that. But if you want the weather, that full weather, all you have to do is turn on the TV once and it's out there for you. So we want to take care of all of our friends out there. It just reminds me, like when that hurricane, and of course, Puerto Rico took a big hit too as well. They took a huge hit. But I'm pretty sure that Puerto Rico is, I think they're a little more prepared than they were before. They're a little more prepared than they were before, because the last hurricane that they had, it just swept out everything. And if you look at some of the images in Florida, I saw some of the images in Florida. The winds were so strong, it sheared off top of houses, just like they did in Puerto Rico. It just sheared them off. And people, I just pray for these people who are in the midst of all of that. So let's just keep our fingers crossed with this weather. This weather is not playing. And those of you who know that summer is officially over here. Now, on the other side of the world, summer is just getting started. So sometimes when we get summer, they get winter. When they get winter, we get summer, vice versa, right? But summer is officially over here. And I know here in New York, yesterday it was pretty chilly. It was jacket weather. And today got even chillier, and people are starting to wear their coats now. I've seen stranger things happen with the weather. The weather gets cold and then suddenly you go back up to 70 and 80 degrees. I've seen that. I don't see that on the horizon right now, but it's pretty chilly out there, pretty chilly. So we're getting ready for the weather. And those of you who are like me, who don't like cold weather, just suck it up. If you're living in one of those areas where you have 4 seasons, just suck it up. Just get prepared, get out the winter gear. Make sure you do that. And of course, when you go shopping at the supermarkets, this is the season where people are going to buy a lot of hot mix of drinks like cocoa and hot chocolate and soups and things like that, so they could stay warm at night. It's all there. And anyway, we're glad to have you aboard with us on Talkback Live. If you're just joining us, it's 10 minutes past the hour right now. If you're just joining us, We want you to stay with us, be part of us each week, make it us your weekly habit. And this way you can be involved just like everyone else. Again, we come to you live on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and of course, Instagram. I know there's a lot of people on Facebook idle, a lot of people on Instagram, they're idle. A lot of people don't want to get involved in conversation, but that's okay. As long as you're out there. And I don't know if you can spend the whole hour with us. I hope you can. But if you don't, whatever time you can spend with us is much appreciative. And so for the rest of you, you know the protocol, stay with us. You know, it's we got all of those things happening for you. We are in the midst of Hispanic Heritage Month. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a lot of outdoor activities, at least not where we are. Now, there are some places where the weather is still, you know, considerably warm, and you can still do outdoor barbecuing and, you know, outdoor activities and things like that. And whatever it is, however the weather is, it doesn't really matter, because Hispanic Heritage Month is going to go on. There are a lot of things to do, and you don't have to be outside to do it. You don't have to be outdoors to do it. You could be indoors as well. You can be there. Museums are probably opening up. You have everything that's happening on TV. I've seen a few things that's dedicated to Hispanic Heritage Month. You're watching all of these TV programs, TV shows, and they're all out there. And it's a great thing. It's a great thing. It's a festive time for people who do celebrate it. And we hope that you are celebrating. And when you do celebrate in good taste, you know, because, you know, it's just a celebration, you know. And I know many people are going to these shows. They have a lot of shows, probably some outdoor shows. Now, I would like to know what's happening in your area as far as that's concerned. You know, what you got going on. If you have any particular kind of events going on, we'd like to get that from you. And of course, we would announce it right here on the show, wherever you are. It doesn't have to be in New York. It could be any place where you are, because we don't know what kind of venues are holding these events. Only you know that, because you're there and I'm not. And we like to relay it for some people who don't watch this show. We could still relay it to people who do watch the show, and they could pass it on to other people. And that's what it's all about. Information that we give to you or you give to us, we share it, we pass it along, and then you go out and then you pass it along to others. That's what it's all about. So Hispanic Heritage Month, what a great month it is. Okay, as you already know too, the flu season is here as well. Okay, and with that cold weather coming up, that flu season is here. And of course, in conjunction with the COVID, that's still on. That's not changing. That's still on. Hopefully, a lot of you have gotten your flu shots. And of course, not to mention your updated COVID shot, which if you're with, let's see, Pfizer or Moderna, of course, initially when you had that, remember when you started with that, initially that was 2 shots. You had to take 1 shot, and then I guess about 6 months later, the second shot. And then they came around with the first booster. You took that, and then they came around with the second booster, and now they have the 3rd booster. So I'm on my 3rd booster. I took mine last week. And so I'm all set. I've also taken my shots for, especially the shot for the flu. And there's all kinds of shots, because when you get a certain age, of course, a certain age in life, you already know that you got to see your doctors. And of course, you have more than one doctor these days. You know, when you get that age, you have more than one doctor. And of course, so you want to stay healthy, stay strong, and make sure everybody's safe. So get your flu shots. You know, that's one of the things. And they say, by the way, I was told, all right, but check with your doctor first, because everyone is not alike. Check with your doctor. But I'm just telling you the information I got, that you can take the flu shot and the COVID shot. Some people take it on one arm and one on the other arm, you know, but you can take it and it's okay. They say to take it. But again, check with your doctor first before you do that. Like I say, everyone's not the same. Everyone's not the same. Check with your doctor, make sure everything is okay, and then he'll give it the okie doke, and then you can move on strong. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as I promised you, we are going over to Charlotte, North Carolina. We're linked up with Brian Camp. He's out there right now, and he is here. And he is going to give us the latest developments in today's world of sports. I am so excited, Brian, and you know why.
Because the hurricane didn't hit New York City.
Oh, that's one reason. I am glad. I am glad.
How about Aaron Judge made history. Yes, he made history. And you know, it's so ironic. I got tired of just tuning into the game because he kept on that hitting a home run. I even turned in all last weekend to the game was on Apple Plus TV, which I don't have, so I couldn't even watch it. He didn't hit it. Saturday was the same thing. He didn't hit it. Sunday was on national TV on ESPN, but the game was rained out after 6 innings and everything. And then Toronto, the first game, didn't hit one. So I said, you know what, enough of this. I got to watch my shows. So I watched my shows, and then finally I said, well, let me take a peek to see if he's coming up. Sure enough, he was up. And when he kept on battling this pitcher, he kept on fouling the ball off. It was a 3-2 count. I said, you know what, this pitcher's in trouble. Aaron Judge is going to hit it somewhere. He's going to hit it hard. If he's not going to hit a home run, he's going to get on base and hit it. And sure enough, he got a pitch right up his alley, midsection, boom. Soon it was a hit. All you can see here is Michael Kay, and it was unbelievable. And then I'm also listening to the highlights of John Sterling, who calls the radio side of Yankee games. So the next day I heard his play-by-play hit, which was better than Michael Kay's, I must say, because John Sterling is a legend. Michael Kay is great too, but John Sterling, the way he gets so dramatic into it was really great. Congratulations. Nice thing about what I like about what Aaron Judge did, he gave the ball to Roger Maris's mother, 61, which ties her son's record for most home runs in the American League at 61. Congratulations to the Maris family, who showed a lot of class, and the Aaron Judge too as well. So now he has, I think, a week and a half left, or a week left to break the record. Now he tied the record. I don't think the Yankees are playing today. So they might have to. Right. So they have the day off. So starting tomorrow, depending on where they're playing at, maybe he'll break the record soon. It would be very nice. It'd be nice to see history. Records are made to be broken.
Did you say that he gave the ball to Roger Maris's mother? He gave the ball to his mother.
Was it his mother? Okay, it was. I thought it was.
He gave the ball to.
Okay, yes. I think it was to his mother. Yes, because every time he saluted his mother, every time he was, they showed a shot of him and gave the ball. He loved his mother. And it was just a beautiful thing. Great thing, So congratulations to Aaron Judge and to the Maris family and to Aaron Judge's mother for raising a nice young man whose contract is coming up soon. So he's a San Francisco native. So look out for that. Yankees are fearing that they may lose him, but may lose him to the other side of New York, to the team that plays in Queens. So we'll find out more about that. But great theater in baseball. And good evening to you and to everybody out there on Zoom, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. It's 64 degrees right now. And tomorrow is going to be the prelude of Hurricane Ian. So it's going to be a rough stretch. All day Friday, they said across the board, 100% rain. Now, we're supposed to get a dead-eye hit in Charlotte. Not sure, but I know Charleston is supposed to get hit. Right now, the hurricane is out at sea and is building up again. It's building up to become a hurricane again. Before it was a tropical storm. Now, want to go out and see where the weather is a little bit warmer. It's going to build up. It's going to come inland. So it's making a a roundabout is coming around. So yeah, so that's the latest of where we are. Our prayers go out to the people that lost their homes in Florida. It was just horrible scene and everything. But they said more deaths are supposed to come, but we're hoping that they're wrong this time and everything. So our prayers go out to them. Shout out to reporter Joe Torres. I'm going to get to sports in a second. Shout out to Joe Torres, who's a reporter for Eyewitness News in New York City, and to the mayor, Eric Adams. The reason why I'm giving them a shout out, they went to Puerto Rico first. And they was giving aid to them. And then they went to the Dominican Republic. Yes, they went to the Dominican Republic. You say, why is that? New York City has a high value of Latinos, a lot of high volume of Puerto Ricans and Dominicans who live in that beautiful state called New York, especially in the Bronx, in the 5 boroughs, except for Staten Island and Queens. But the majority are in Manhattan, Brooklyn, and the Bronx. And kudos to them. Joe, I know, especially for Joe Torres, who hasn't been home in weeks. I could tell you that right now. He's not been home in weeks. He was just in Florida. Now he's in Dominican Republic. Now I just saw today he's in Florida, and he's just we pray for his safety as well as everybody else. So congratulations to the mayor and to the reporter Joe Torres. But into sports, the NFL is replacing the Pro Bowl. There'll be no more Pro Bowl. Thank goodness. The Pro Bowl is so boring. Nobody watches it. The players don't even want to be there, but they are now, it's going to be changed to a week-long skills competition and a flag football game. The new event will also replace the full contact showcase started in 1951. This thing started in 1951. It would be renamed the Pro Bowl Games and will feature the AFC and NFC players, but showcasing their football and non-football skills in challenges over the several days. The 2023 games will be held in Las Vegas. Yes, Sin City, Las Vegas, and the flag football game at Allegiant Stadium on February 5th, 2023. That's 1 week before Super Bowl 57, I believe it is. Yes. And speaking about the Super Bowl, Rihanna will be performing in next year's Super Bowl 57. And originally Taylor Swift was asked, but she turned it down. And so now Rihanna will accept it. It'll be the halftime State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona on February 12th. So that's what the Super Bowl is. And Rihanna, who is 34 years old, will release 8 studio albums across her career, winning 9 Grammy Awards and 13 American Music Awards along the way. So you have something to look forward to. Rihanna is going to be star attraction. Now, the NFL selected the U.S. Now, because we're in the midst of a storm, the NFL has selected the U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis as a contingency site for the Sunday night football game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Tampa Bay. As of now, the game would remain scheduled for Raymond James Stadium, which is the home field of Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers, however, have evacuated the area because of the effects of the hurricane. A couple of hours ago, they said that they will play the game. So it's been reversed. They will play the game at home because the storm has passed. In fact, the sun was out earlier today. So the storm has passed Tampa Bay. So now the game is back on. Now, Major League Baseball, again, has something to do with the storm. Is considering changing the game to Atlanta for the Mets and Braves game as Hurricane Ian slammed the Florida Gulf Coast. Georgia has expected to see plenty of flooding, and some coastal surge into Saturday. That may change too. If things calm down, the game will probably be back in Georgia. We will find out from anywhere between now until the coffee hour tomorrow. We're not sure if it goes into the weekend, because they start on Friday for a weekend series. So we're not quite sure what Major League Baseball is going to do, depending on the hurricane. Mother Nature we have no control over Mother Nature. This thing in sports, September 29th, 1880, the first pro baseball game at the Polo Grounds. The New York Metropolitans defeated the Washington Nationals 4-2 in 5 innings. It's only 5 innings. 1944, St. Louis Browns' last American League attendance, only 6,172. Watched them sweep the New York Yankees in a doubleheader. For a doubleheader, you only had 6,000 fans, a little bit over 6,000 fans. 1954, Willie Mays' famous over-the-shoulder catch of Vic Wertz, a 460-foot drive, Game 1 of the World Series. That was a famous catch. If you see, I have it up here on my wall where the ball was hit over his head. He caught it, turned around, spun, turned around, fell down, threw the ball back, which is, some people say, is the greatest catch in World Series history. My man, Willie Mays. 1957, New York Giants played their last game at the Polo Ground and became the San Francisco Giants. They lost that game 9-1 to Pittsburgh. 1966, Sandy Koufax pitches his third 300 strikeout season. That's a lot of strikeouts. 1969, Steve O'Neill of the New York Jets kicks the longest NFL punt, 98 yards, versus the Denver Broncos. 1979, Manny Mota of the LA Dodgers hits a record 146 home run, pinch hit. I'm sorry. He was known as a pinch hitter. So he has 146 pinch hits, which is an all-time record. 1996, Houston Astros retired Nolan Ryan's number 34. Nolan Ryan, legendary strikeout, who's an all-time strikeout leader. He's also pitched more walks than anybody else also. Birthdays on this day. 1907, Gene Autry's cowboy singer. And he sang Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer too. Major League Baseball owner was born in Tycho, Texas. 1923, Bum Phillips, NFL coach, born in Orange, Texas. 1984, Bryant Gumbel, sportcaster, Today's Show, born in New Orleans, Louisiana. 1956, Warren Carmonti, Major League Baseball, born in Miami Beach, Florida. 1966, Ken Norton Jr. Yes, Ken Norton Jr. He's the son of former heavyweight Ken Norton Sr. The son was an NFL linebacker, was born in Jacksonville, Florida. 1985, Calvin Mechajon Johnson was born in Newnan, Georgia. He was an NFL wide receiver. And today, Kevin Durant was born in 1988, born in Washington, D.C. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports. I hope I didn't talk too much.
No. You're gonna be around here for a couple of minutes more, because I wanted to talk about that catch of Willie Mays. Do you know that Willie Mays, that was supposed to have been the greatest catch, as you already mentioned, the greatest catch, and now any ball player does it. Every ball player does it.
Yeah. He was known for it. That's why he's, to me, I think he's the greatest player, the greatest all-around player to ever play the game.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Babe Ruth, but there's a lot of things that Willie Mays could do that Babe Ruth could not do. I know Babe Ruth pitched, but Willie Mays could run, steal, throw, hit for average, you name it, he did it, everything.
He was also known for that basket catch.
Oh yeah. When I was a kid, I used to try to do that. I think it was fun.
Everyone tried to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, the last time I played ball, I guess it was when I was playing with the WOR softball team, right? I always played, I didn't play the outfield. I played first base. I always played first base. And the ball flew to me. And I did it unconsciously. I didn't really mean to do it. I just did the basket catch, and I could hear all the guys that were out in the field and said, "Oh, there he is, Willie Mays, a basket catch," right? And I didn't, but yeah, everyone tries it. It tries it too.
Yeah.
Now Super Bowl now, they turn out some great talent. I know for the past few years for halftime play. And so Rihanna gets her turn. I thought maybe they were going to bring back Jennifer Lopez again.
Well, no. They always like to try something new artists. Sometimes they do bring back somebody again. Very rare, but they whoever they roll with somebody who's on a roll.
Yeah,
and Rihanna is scheduled to start making albums again, to what I'm hearing.
yeah.
But this would be great. I'm a big fan of hers too.
Did they say why Taylor Swift turned it down?
They didn't say, but she was offered it first, but she turned it down.
Maybe she has other engagements. That could be it too.
Could be, maybe some problems, some personal problems. Maybe she just was tied up in scheduling. I don't know.
Because that's something that the Super Bowl halftime, that's something that you don't really want to turn down. So it had to be a good reason for her to do that.
They make a lot of money. My goodness. Yeah. They make a lot of money just for that 15-minute segment. They make millions and millions of dollars. Last year was great. You had a mixture of different types of music with artists and rappers. I really enjoyed it last year.
I got to tell you, my favorite Super Bowl halftime game was when Diana Ross, I can't remember, you remember the year, when Diana Ross did it. And at the end of her performance, they would whisk her away in a helicopter.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that was so cool. I thought that was so cool, man.
My favorite was, I might be a little biased on this, but was the Michael Jackson one that he did in California, where he just stood there for like a couple minutes, and the crowd just went crazy. Yeah. And as soon as he touched his glasses, they went crazy again. He just demands so much attention and everything. He was great.
You're very partial to Michael Jackson, so I can understand why you are.
Yeah. Well, the Jackson family, period. But yeah.
Yeah. And lastly, I want to go back to the Yankee game. The numbers came out even. Roger Maris hit number 61 in 1961. It took 61 years for Aaron Judge to hit 61. So the numbers come out even.
Comes out perfect. Yeah.
I enjoyed it when he hit that home run. The mother, his mother Patty, was so proud. I could see, you watch her, they had the camera on her a lot. And she was proud. I thought she looked so cute with that little jersey that she had on with number 99 to pay homage to her son. I think that was so cute.
Oh yeah. That's just a parent that's just glowing with joy just to see their child make it this far and everything. We don't know what struggles that they went through, if they had any, but just to see, a lot of work was put in by Aaron Judge, and I'm pretty sure that his mother, his father did great things to get to where they were at, to pave the way for their son. Yeah.
That reminds me of the Derek Jeter family, the same way.
Yeah.
I thought she was so tiny, right? Judge is like 6'7", 6'8", I think 6'7".
Yeah.
And I like the way she was looking up at her, holding the ball, there's a video on that when she's holding the ball and she looks up at him, It's so cute. So,
it's nothing like a mother's love.
That's right. That's absolutely right. That's absolutely
just amazing, So,
So we'll catch you back here tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we'll be here tomorrow. We're going to be something. I have a doctor's appointment. I was hoping they would cancel it, but I called them. They said right now we're going to keep it the way it is. But either way, I will be here, and through hurricane or whatever
regular time or
regular time.
Okay.
Saturday or Sunday, the smoke is going on. I'm gonna let no hurricane stop me.
You're not going to get any rain Saturday, are you?
It says cloudy, but no, it's supposed to be
We're
sunny.
going to get a soaking wet rain on Saturday.
Okay.
So that's the time for New Yorkers to stay at home and then catch up on things that they haven't in a long time. Okay, Brian, we'll catch you back here tomorrow morning.
All right, take care now.
Take care of yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Brian Kemp. Ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. He's here every Thursday at this time, and he'll be here tomorrow on the coffee hour. We'll get the chance to see him too, and he'll have more. So just in case you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and we're talking back to you live as we do each week. And those of you who are around, you want to get a chance to say something, or you want to join in conversation, have any questions, ideas, you can do that too. And we'll be able to entertain your thoughts and your suggestions and ideas and things like that. Later on in the program, not too far away, I'll give you my other information, email address and telephone number, how you can get in touch with me personally. So all of that is coming along. Okay, here we go. What a day, what a day, what a day in history. On this day in history in 1913, the Shubert Theater, named after Sam S. Shubert, opens on 44th Street in New York City. On this day in history in 1916, American oil tycoon John D. Rockefeller becomes the world's first billionaire. On this day in history in 1927, the telephone service begins between US and Mexico. On this day in history in 1936, radio was used for the first time for a presidential campaign. On this day in history in 1940, the first US merchant ship Booker T. Washington, commanded by a Black captain by the name of Hugh Munzak, and that was launched in Wilmington, Delaware. Back in 1940, on this day in history, the musical film Strike Up the Band, starring Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland, opens. On this day in history, 1946, The Adventures of Sam Spade debuts on CBS Radio. On this day in history in 1947, Dizzy Gillespie presents his first Carnegie Hall concert in New York. On this day in history in 1948, Hamlet, directed and starring Laurence Olivier. These days, he's known as Sir Laurence Olivier, rest in peace, opens at the Park Avenue Cinema, and it made the Best Picture of 1949. On this day in history, 1948, WBAP now is called KXAS. That's TV Channel 5 in Fort Worth, Texas. That's the NBC station. It begins broadcasting. On this day in 1950, the telephone answering machine was created by Bell Laboratories. On this day in history, 1953, Make Room for Daddy, starring Danny Thomas, premieres on ABC TV. On this day in history, in 1953, The Milton Berle Show premieres on NBC in the US. On this day in history, in 1954, Barefoot Contessa, that was a film that was directed by Joseph L. Manskiewicz, and it starred Ava Gardner and Humphrey Bogart. That premieres. On this day in history, in 1954, the first remake of A Star is Born with Julie Garland and James Mason, that premieres. Back in 1955, Sergeant Preston, remember Sergeant Preston of the Yukon, back in 1955, debuts on CBS. On this day in history, 1957, The Paul Winchell Show debuts on ABC TV. Also back in 1957, Buddy Holly and the Crickets released their second single called Oh Boy. Back in 1958, Summertime Blues by Eddie Cochran peaks at number 8 in the US and number 18 in the UK. On this day in history, 1959, Many Loves of Dobie Gillis premieres on CBS TV. Back in 1959 as well, Little Anthony and the Imperials recorded Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Bop. By the way, he thought that was a silly song, but it was a big hit. On this day in history in 1960, My Three Sons, starring Fred McMurray, debuts on ABC TV. Back in 1961, Bob Dylan's first recording session backed up with a harmonica solo for Carolyn Hessler. Back in 1962, Green Onions by Booker T and the MCs, or the MGs, I would say, peak number 3. Back in 1962, My Fair Lady closes at the Mark Hillinger Theater in New York City after 2,715 performances. Back in 1962, Roy Rogers and Dale Evans Show debuts on ABC TV. I used to watch that every week. On this day in history in 1963, the cops are coming. You hear the sirens, right? The cops are coming. They're coming to get me, but I'm going to finish this before they take me away. In 1963, My Favorite Martian, starring Ray Walston, debuts on CBS TV. Also in 1963, The Judy Garland Show debuts on CBS TV. 1963 was a big year because the Rolling Stones did their first tour. Opening act was Bo Diddley and Everly Brothers. Back in 1967, Gladys Knight and the Pips are the first to release Norman Whitfield's and Barrett Strong's I Heard It Through the Grapevine, and Marvin Gaye covered that a little later on. In 1969, Love American Styles premiere on ABC TV. In 1969, also Sale of the Century, a game show, debuts on NBC TV. Also in 1969, Jackie DeShannon gets a gold record for Put a Little Love in Your Heart. Back in 1971, Macmillan and Wife debuts on NBC TV. In 1972, Japan and People's Republic of China began diplomatic relations. Back in 1975, soul singer Jackie Wilson suffers a heart attack while singing on stage at the Latin Casino in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and he survives but never recovers. Back in 1976, Alice, the sitcom Alice, debuts on CBS TV. Back in 1977, Columbia Records released The Stranger. That was a song, singer-songwriter Billy Joel, his 5th studio album. It becomes the labels at the all-time best-selling non-competitive album or record. In 1979, Different World, which is also in reruns right now today, Different World by Maureen Govan. That was a TV show, but this is the Different World. This is a recording by Maureen McGovern that peaks number 18. In 1983, the US Congress authorized President Ronald Reagan to keep 1,600 US Marines in Lebanon. Back in 1984, Let's Go Crazy by Prince and the Revolutions peaked at number 1, right? No surprise. In 1984, Elizabeth Taylor undergoes rehabilitation at the Betty Ford Clinic. In 1987, Didn't We Almost Have It All by Whitney Houston hits number 1. In 1993, the 27th Country Music Association Award goes to Vince Gill. Back in 1998, Reprise Records releases Taming the Tiger, Canadian singer Joni Mitchell, tongue twister, Joni Mitchell's 16th studio album. And 2017, Mercury Records of Nashville releases Now, the 5th studio album by Shania Twain, her first in 15 years. Actress, the late Greer Garson, was born on this day in 1904 in Essex, England, in the United Kingdom. She passed away April 6, 1996, at the age of 91, and she died from heart failure. And let's see, actor Trevor Howard. Now you remember Trevor Howard, if you remember that movie with Frank Sinatra called, let me see, it was called Ryan's Express. Von Ryan's Express, right? Well, actually, Trevor Howard was in there. He was born on this day in 1913, and he was born in England, in the UK, but he passed away January 7th, 1988, at the age of 74. Actress Anita Ekberg was born on this day in 1931. She was born in Sweden. She passed away in 2015 at the age of 83. And let's see, rock and roller Jerry Lee Lewis is celebrating a birthday today. Today he's celebrating. He was born on this day in 1935. He's 87 years old. Great balls of fire. He came out of Ferry Day, Louisiana, back in 1942. Fusion jazz musician Jean-Luc Ponty was born. And he was born in France. He's 80 years old today. Happy birthday. In 1942, actress Madeline Kahn, the late actress Madeline Kahn, was born in Boston, Massachusetts. She passed away in 1999. In 1957, comedian Andrew Dice Clay was born in Brooklyn, New York. So I'm partial to Andrew Dice Clay. He's 65 years old today. Happy birthday. In 1930, singer and actor Bing Crosby, Bing, he marries actress Dixie Lee. In 1979, actress Isabel Rossellini, she gets married to Martin Scorsese, the big-time director. In 1991, actress Kate Jackson weds ski lodge entrepreneur Tom Hart in Brentwood, California. In 2001, singer-actress Jennifer Lopez weds dancer choreographer Chris Judd. And that was, he got wed in Calabasas, California. And they got divorced in 2004, 2012. Actress Anne Hathaway weds actor and turned jewelry designer Adam Schulman in Big Spar, California. And I never heard of that part of California, but I guess they know what they're talking about there. Let's see, my teleprompter is moving crazy, so I better move along quickly. Okay. Oh, 2018, actress Jennifer Paltrow marries TV producer Brad Falchuk in the Hamptons. And former mayor of Los Angeles, Tom Bradley, he passed away on this day in 1989. And he died at the age of 80 years old from a heart attack. He was born December 29th, 1917 in Culver, Texas. Actor Tony Curtis passed away on this day in 2010 at the age of 85. He died, he was born June 3rd in 1925. He was born here in New York, in Manhattan, as a matter of fact. And he passed away September 29th, 2010. I already said that, but he put it down there twice, so I repeated it. Okay, all right. 2011, Sylvia Robinson of the famed Mickey and Sylvia, who recorded the big hit Love is Strange, and then she did a solo called Pillow Talk back in the 70s. She dies of complication of a heart failure back in 2011. She was 76 years old when she passed away. 2015, jazz saxophonist and composer Phil Woods, who I had the pleasure of meeting, dies of emphysema at the age of 83. And 2020, I should say 2020, singer Helen Reddy, who did the famous hit I Am Woman, she passed away at the age of 78. And finally, in 2020, country singer Mac Davis dies following a heart surgery at the age of 78. A long list of things that were happening on this day. And those of you who know of anything that's happening on this day in history, please let us know. We will be glad to bring it on. If I didn't mention anything about it, we'll be glad to bring it on and elevate it and convey it to all of you who are watching as well. And in case you're just joining us, of course, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan, and I am with you up till the top of the hour. We're so glad to have you along with us. And we're going to be with you. We are so delighted to be with you each week at this time. And just in case you're joining us for the first time, we engage you in conversation. We're here every week from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. And of course, we engage you in conversation. If you so desire, you can talk to others as well. We come from 3 different places. We broadcast on 3 different places. So we're all around the world, no matter where you go. We're live on Facebook, as we are right now. We're on YouTube, also live on Instagram as well. So we want to say howdy, howdy, howdy to each and every one of you who are out there with us. And still celebrating, we are still celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, of course. And those of you who don't know that, then your head was buried under a rock somewhere. This is a big celebration, and it's a happy celebration and a festive celebration, and we continue to celebrate that for the whole entire month. And this month is almost over. In just a couple of days, and the next time we meet will be in a brand new month. We'll be in the month of October. And of course, in the month of October, you know, that's when the World Series are going to be playing. And I'm going to prematurely say the Yankees are going to be part of it. Well, they're going to the playoffs. Whoever they're going to play, they're going to win. And when they come into the World Series, and I say when they come into the World Series, they're going to win the World Series. I'm hoping that the Mets join them. I really hope the Mets join them. This would be a great thing for New York City, financially as well. It'll be a great thing that, and people will be coming miles around because they'll be playing at Yankee Stadium and Citi Field as well. Money, I could see the money just flowing. Money will be generated. People will be buying and people will be selling, and money will be all around. Crowds and crowds. It's going to be crowded. And people, like I say, they come from different countries and different cities, and they come as tourists in New York City. And we always love to welcome the tourists when they come in. We always love to welcome you. I've met a lot of people came from everywhere, from different countries too, just to visit New York, just to see what it's all about. And you know, as you already know, if you're a tourist and never been here before, and you finally made the pilgrimage to New York City to watch and see, you already know this is a 24-hour city. It's a city that never sleeps, as Frank Sinatra says. It's a city that if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And some people leave New York City for certain reasons, not that they don't love it, but it was time for them to move on. And some people will stay here, you know. And right now, I am holding down the fort for people who used to live here and moved on. And I'm holding down the fort for you guys. So when you come back, you know you're always welcome. Everyone is always welcome to this big city, New York. New York, New York, what a heck of a town. And as the song says, the Bronx is up and the Battery's down. What that means is the Bronx is uptown and the Battery is downtown. That's a, you know, Battery Park. You know, if you go visit Battery Park, nice place to visit. I don't know if you want to live here. You know, it's a fact, and I don't mean that in a negative sense, but you got to be ready. If you're going to move here to New York, you got to be ready. It's a fast-paced city. It doesn't have to be because people could take their time, but it's a fast-paced city. It's congested. Traffic is heavy at times. This past week, speaking of heavy traffic, this past week, as a matter of fact, here in New York, it was congested in Midtown. And there was traffic because the president came into town. They had the UN. Now, the UN, whenever the diplomats and the president and these other big people, these big wigs come into town and they occupy the UN, it's traffic. I mean, the police force is out there. It's out there in full force, and the traffic is heavy and it's hard to get around. And that's what happened last week. Now, it's subsided. Everything is okay now. But last week, the president came into town and it was a mess, a total mess. So everybody visits. It's a crazy city, so you got to be prepared for things like that. Okay, enough of the chatter. Let's play the platter. That's what we used to say in radio. Okay, hey, it's time for those movies I was telling you about. Now, just in case you are looking for something to watch, I'm going to add to your list of movies to watch, because especially if you're living in New York and you're going to get that soaking rain, you might want to go out and grab all the things that you need for the house, food and whatever you need to keep you occupied, and sit back and relax and catch up on some movies. And I have a couple for you. They all Turner Classic movies. Let's start it off right now. Here's a classic from 1954 called On the Waterfront, starring Marlon Brando. And you can catch that on Turner Classic Movies Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's a great movie. Of course, it's all black and white. We have something here from 1956 1956. I have the right date here. Okay, today is the what? Today is the, make sure I'm reading the right script. Okay, it's today is the 29th, so I'm on the right page. Okay, so we go back in time. So now here's another one from 1956, Forbidden Planet. One of my favorite science fiction movies starring Leslie Nielsen, Walter Pidgeon, and Anne Francis. You can catch that on Turner Classic Movies. That's on Saturday at 10:45 p.m. Eastern. All the times I give you is Eastern, so check your time. Here's a musical that I like as well, Ring-a-Ding-Ding, Flower Drum Song. That goes back to 1961, starring Nancy Kwan. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. A lot of great movies, a lot of great music on this. Great music, Flower Drum Song. And Turner Classic Movies, that's on Sunday. You can catch it on Sunday afternoon at 2:15 p.m. Eastern. And finally, Fiddler on the Roof from 1971. You can catch that Sunday as well at 4:45 p.m. Eastern. And it's right there. And they're all great classic movies. So if you like those movies, I'm sure you're going to like them. You watch them. If you can't watch them in real time, you can always DVR them. Now, I can also tell you, if you go to Turner Classic Movies, these are only my picks. They're my personal picks. That doesn't mean that there are not any more that are out there that you may enjoy. All you have to do is go on to Turner Classic Movies and scroll through the program guide, and you might see something else that tickles your fancy. And you might want to DVR that in case you don't get a chance to watch it in real time. But there are a lot of great movies. Also, you can go on Movie on Demand and watch some of the free movies. They have a lot of them. There are so many of them from A to Z. You can watch them. They date back to the 1930s, the 40s, the 50s, and so on. And watch them. Classic movies that you haven't seen in a long time, or if you've seen 1,000 times and never get tired of seeing them, those kind of movies, they're right there. Movie on Demand. Now, if you want to see some of the paid movies that pay per view, those are the latest movies, the movies of today. You can go there and they're $6-7 for the viewing. That's pay per view. You can go and watch that. Now, also you can go and go to the networks. Now, if you like sports, depending on what network you're watching, if you get the chance to miss it. Now, I miss wrestling. This week. I miss Monday Night Raw. So I'm going to go, after I get off the air, go and watch it. You can go there and watch it. And it's when they have it on one particular night, you can go the next day and watch it, sometimes without the commercials. Sometimes they take the commercials out, but even if you have to watch the commercials, they're all worth it. So you got all the networks there. If you like Lifetime movies, see what's there available. See what's available there, and you might like that, and that'll be great. And so you got all of that. So watch those movies, those Turner Classic movies. They're all great. Okay, let me go back to these movies again, just to rerun them just once again. You got On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando on Turner Classic Movies. That's on Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And you have Forbidden Planet. That's with Leslie Nielsen, and Walter Pidgeon along with Anne Francis, and that's on Turner Classic Movies at 10:45 p.m. Eastern. And let's see, The Flower Drum Song from 1961, starring Nancy Kwan, and that's Sunday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern. And finally, there's Fiddler on the Roof from 1971. That's on Sunday at 4:45 p.m. Eastern. I think you're going to like it. That's going to do it for me today. I want to say hello to Justin Dassler out there. Happy birthday to you. He's watching on Instagram. Happy birthday to you. A belated happy birthday to you, and many, many more. I'm going to go now, but I will be back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for the coffee hour. Brian Camp will be with me, and he'll be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. And it's you and me, and we'll chat together. We'll have coffee and donuts or whatever the 9 yards. You have to bring your own, though. Be here. Other than that, I will be back here next Thursday for more of Talk Back Live. And Brian Kemp, of course, will be here with me as well with sports and the whole 9 yards. Ladies and gentlemen, I enjoyed it, and I hope you did too. I hope that you have a wonderful morning, good evening, afternoon, and above all, have a pleasant good night. Until then, I'll see you later. Take care. Bye.